Mass Transit Administration, and the person of Dr. Mrs. Epa. Madam, you're welcome. Please take your seat on the high seat. May I, at this juncture, invite our able President of the Institute for Tourism Professionals and Chairman, Main Organizing Committee of this occasion, in the person of Chief Abiodun Odusao. Sir, you're welcome to the high seat, on the high seat. Yes, your chair is special, your seat is special, is higher, and is colored, is deeper than theirs, because you are the host. You are welcome to the program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're very sorry we might be having the program distributed to you very late, but a quick rundown on what the program looked like for the opening ceremony. Like I said, to kickstart the opening ceremony, we have the commencement of the summit opening remarks to be delivered by Chief Abiodun Odusawo, President, Institute for Tourism Professionals and Chairman, Main Organizing Committee of the 2019 Tourism Transport Summit and Expo. Sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I appreciate and recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, representing the Secretary to the Federal Government of Nigeria. Madam, thank you for coming, ma'am. We all appreciate the time that we are in the country. All ministers and senior government officials, they are very busy. We sincerely appreciate the time accorded to this summit by all present. There we have the DGs from parastatals, international organizations, but because of the presence of the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, I just go straight to do my own speech, to do the welcoming, to give a brief about the genesis of this particular event. This event actually came about by the decision of National Council made in Sokoto in 2017, which mandated that the tourism sector should collaborate with the transport sector to collectively promote and boost tourism. We had the first summit last year here in May of 2018. This is the second edition of the summit, and I'm sure everybody involved will try and ensure that we contribute as soon as possible. The idea of the summit is to bridge the connectivity between tourism and transport. The idea of the summit is to ensure policy changes and policies and such that will ensure that those of us in tourism operating in silos, that we are in tourism, and those in the transport, either civil aviation sector, maritime sector, the railways, or the mass transportation operating as if they are in silos, we can now begin to work together in sort of a synergistic way to bridge the, ensure that we collectively move the industry forward. Because without transportation, there's no mobility. Without tourism, there's no transport. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've said, we appreciate and thank you all for coming. I now invite the next speaker to please take this sign. I thank you very much. Thank you.
Next is the welcome address. I'm told that the representative of the Honorable Minister is here, and the person of the Secretary of Transportation of FCT, Comrade Okpaifa. Am I right?
Honorable Minister, Women Affairs, distinguished guests and panelists. First of all, I am here on behalf of the Honorable Minister of State for Aviation, Senator Hadi Abubakar Surika, who could not make it even though he had made serious attempt to be here. He got back from China last night in Lagos and got in the middle of the night so as to come to this program, but unfortunately, something came up and he had to go, and so he sent me to come here on his behalf. Well, the brief what I'm going to say is just going to be very, very brief. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time. But when we look at the theme of this particular conference, we know that it could not have come at a better time than now. On the 26th of March, just last year, the first ICAO, that is International Civil Aviation Organization, and the United Nations World Tourism Organization had the first ministerial conference ever in
the podium to take us on the aviation perspective, tourism in a hyper-connection world, making technology work for tourism and the transportation sector. Dr. Please.
Mr. President of the Institute. Sometimes you go to your mommy's private purse to pick some money, only to go and watch a film that is very latent and very latest. But today, what do we have? You're not going to all those theater anymore. You are hitting your Netflix. And on Netflix, all kind of films, depending on your choice, is available to you. To the extent that parents today must put some restriction towards what you want your kids to watch. These are trends of technology affecting every sphere of our life. Aviation in particular. Next slide. I got this clip from President of Israel. I'm sure some of us might have seen it. After the election, he was talking about the importance of technology and how the country of Israel is moving. And he said in the last 10 years, 2006 to 2016, look at the commanding heights of our world. 2006, oil company. The next one, electric company. And then oil. The only technology company was Microsoft. The rest, bank and bank and bank and oil. And just 10 years after, 2016, the commanding heights of the world is Apple, is Google, Microsoft. Before you can see one oil company, is I think number 7, commanding heights. A warning to us in Nigeria, our dependence on oil. We should begin to remove our eyes now and shift to technology on every sphere of life. Because before you know it, oil will become zero in the market. It may not happen in our time, it will happen. Technology is it. That's the commanding height. Technology strength continues. I think I've mentioned a little bit about mobile, storage of big data. You know, when I see some judges that still carry files like this, and I go to a lot of ministries, and I see files, and I see files, and I see files, it amuses me. Where you can store big data inside a chip. You can store data in the cloud. The bigger it is becoming, the bigger you throw it into the cloud, and it's there. And I see some hospitals in Nigeria, and they're still keeping files. And when rats invade the hospital, they eat a lot of their record. When all these records can go into the cloud. So these are showing all biometrics. Our passport office is still in crisis. You can't renew your passport, whether home or abroad. Whether you go to a Nigerian embassy in Washington or in New York, or name it, it's the same. What are we doing with technology? When a thing can be done in seconds. So these are all trends in technology affecting our world, and automation is affecting our world. An American visited me of late, and he was going back to his country via Ghana. And when he got to Accra, he said, "Gabriel, what happened to you? What's happening with Nigeria? Have you been to Ghana of late? Come and see the transformation of the airport. Our brother Ghana is deploying technology on every front. So I'm putting the challenge to those of us here, practitioners, in every corridor of our life. We must embrace technology going forward. The travel agents, our airlines are not here. Our airlines are running away from technology because it is expensive. But the returns of technology is unbeatable. Seamless delivery, efficient, and at the end of the day, the return on it. The company that I represent, Sabre Technology, how are we impacting the sector? We have a lot of products that if I begin to discuss it, I'm going to bore you. I better not. There's what we call Sabre Lab, Imagine Technology. In this laboratory, all kind of automation is possible for the airline business. Authenticity, blockchain. I don't want to define them. For the airline people, if they need more details, I am available. The flight management, Sabre Air Center flight plan. Flight plan in the past we used to do manually. The flight is going from a point A to point B for the pilots in the house. There is the need to have your flight plan. You're flying from Lagos, let's say to Israel, or let's say to Dubai. You're going to fly across a couple of countries, and you can't fly across those countries without a flight plan. There's technology to do it. Training is not cumbersome anymore with technology. It's just a matter of pressing the buttons. There is Sabre Air Center Flight Explorer. At any one point, where is my aircraft? How is it behaving? How is it performing? What's the situation of this aeroplane? Sabre Air Center ACAS Manager. That is ground to air management of the aeroplane. There is integrated portfolio. Integrated